Hi, good morning. All right, so let me unfreeze behind me. Oh, sorry, that was really loud. All right, we should be recorded here. My mic is happening. Sweet. All right, so I'm looking at our thread for this week, starting on the 22nd and going to tomorrow, the 25th, which is when your final is due. So you absolutely must have that final in by tomorrow at midnight. Hi, good morning. So you still have all of this period, you have all of this evening to put some finishing touches on it. You have me while I'm still here to ask questions of to make sure that your submission is correct, or if you have any curiosities about the content of your final. We'll get into the rubric here in just a second for the option that you chose. But today is the day to ask those questions of me while you still have class time to get a hold. Okay, so your bells for today, you're in here till 11:40, and then everybody has lunch until 12:30, and then 4 and 5 finish out the day, 90 minutes each, up until 3:45. Okay, so I've linked two different discussion boards here. You only have to do the discussion board that is relevant to the final that you chose. So you don't have to do both, you just have to do the one that you decided on. So let's check those out here real quick. That's the first thing you guys should get out of the way. For the project option, these are also due tomorrow night at midnight. There's two steps. One of them is a single sentence. I see somebody's already posted, so that's good that they're available for y'all. But a single sentence that summarizes the artwork that is your final. And then for that same artwork, answer these questions below. Once you answer those questions, post them to the discussion board, and then everybody will be able to see what you were trying to do with your art piece. You don't have to attach the art piece. That is optional. If you want to include it, you can, but these are just talking about the like the vibes and the process and the stuff that you went through while you were creating these projects. So that's option number one. If you're doing a project, you need to do final point proj point one. Sorry, I know it's kind of a mouthful, kind of hard to read, but you do need to do this before you midnight as tomorrow as well as part of your final. It's a similar process for port point one. So for my portfolio students, these are your portfolio reflection questions. It's a very similar setup. This one has 3 steps, however. But the first one is just collecting your pieces, which is what you've been doing throughout this week so far and a little bit of last week. Then I want you to answer the step 2 questions for each piece in your portfolio below. So step 2, you have to fill out for each included version that you're showing off in your portfolio. Remember, you need at least 2. And you'll answer these 3 questions for each of those. And then once you finish analyzing your individual pieces, step 3 is about analyzing the whole portfolio. You only need to answer step 3 once. All right, and then it's just some general questions about your artworks, how you want to show them off, why are these examples of your best work, yada yada. Post that to this discussion board as well, so you can see how people are analyzing their work, how they're looking at it. Same thing applies here. You do not have to attach your portfolio to port point one, the discussion board, but you are welcome to if you want to. It is optional. So just as I look into the future, I want you guys to focus on these discussion boards for the first little part of the day. Get them out of the way so you're not forgetting about them later. But if we go to the modules for today, or I mean not for today, in finals, there's a staircase setup to each of these options here, and you want to start at the top and work your way down. You'll notice as well that there's a spot to submit your actual finals themselves, whether that's the project or the portfolio. You now have an opportunity to upload those if you think that they are ready to be submitted. How will you know if they're ready to be submitted? Well, they have rubrics for the things that I'm grading off of. So in my other classes, I know some of y'all are taking some of my other classes, there's some overlap. With the idea of you guys having creative freedom with these projects, it's hard for me to set one set of rules that I grade against. So these are pretty general criteria, pretty general as they're going to relate to your specific page, but it's all going to be some of this are like the basic gist of what I want you to accomplish with this final. So there's 5 things here worth 10 points each. It's the same thing for the portfolio. They're just a little different. If you choose the project, you get 10 points for submitting it, 5 points for submitting almost all of it, and then a 0, obviously, if you don't. There's 2 sections for evidence of concepts covered. One is for are they included? This one's right here is are they included in your final? The second one is how did you develop them? How did you improve them? 10 points for completing the artist intent discussion board, and then 10 points for submitting your work in progress drawings. So for my project kid or my project students. Take a picture of your work right now so that you have a work in progress. Sorry. So that you have something to submit for that fourth option right there. Does that make sense so far? Same deal for option 2. The top 3 are, did you submit the final and is there evidence of the things that we covered in class? But with the portfolio, it's multiple concepts. So you should have multiple artworks that display things that we covered in class, like perspective or character design, animation, what have you, Then there's some evidence of analysis. You have at least 2 concepts covered that are broken down into positive experiences, negative experiences, knowledge, what to do differently. Just kind of general questions like this. That will help you, or the discussion board, point 1, will help you kind of figure out some reflection on your pieces. Same deal here, completed your portfolio discussion. Oh, that says discussion board. I'll fix that here in a second. And the last one is you need at least 2 works included in your portfolio. The best portfolios will typically have 4 or more things included in it. So that's just informational. What I want you guys to focus on right now, before you get into the mindset of working on your projects, is for the option you chose, do this discussion board. So real quick, who are my portfolios? I know Azusa and Manasvi, Nick, and Colin. Anybody else doing a portfolio? Okay, so I'm gonna go into Canvas and excuse you guys from the option 1 stuff so it doesn't show up as missing in your Canvas. Okay, before you guys get started, does anybody have questions on what I want you to focus on first? Because after we get through some of the focus stuff, it's just work time on these projects until you turn them in tomorrow evening at the latest. What else do we have in the thread? Okay, we talked about how to submit your final. And then now once you do all these steps today, then it's just final work time. If you're already done, you can use this class time as a study hall, or you can use it as a chance to kind of catch your breath amidst all these big tests. I know a lot of you have some pretty intense coursework. And if you're tired and you're running on steam or running on fumes, you're not going to have a great product. So if you need a rest after you finish my work, this is the place to do that. So you're prepared for the rest of today. All that makes sense? Any questions? All right, sweet. Get started on your discussion boards. I'm going to upload this Zoom room so you have access to it later. And we're going to have a good day. Good luck, you guys.